Listen, if you're a vanilla lover like me, then you need Queening from Mind Games in your collection. It's not your average vanilla. It's something I've never experienced before. Come back and we'll discuss it. But you gotta come back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video of Smell Good with Jenna. I'm, of course, Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. You know what you gotta do. Like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And let's get right into it. If a lot of people ask me, what's your favorite note in a fragrance? I'll tell them vanilla. Vanilla, you can't go wrong with it. Maybe you can, maybe it could be too sweet, maybe too spicy, but there's nothing like a good vanilla note in a fragrance. And I just can't get enough of it. I want the ultimate vanilla collection when it comes to my fragrances. But I know my taste has changed drastically in the sense of I was gravitated to a lot of the sweet gourmands vanillas, but over like the past couple of months things have changed. I don't know what changed, but I'm like interested in more spicier and just well-rounded vanillas rather than just a typical sweet gourmand. Queening from Mind Games is that different type of vanilla. Again, you're used to the gourmands, the really, really sweet vanillas. But with this is cold, it's crisp, it's airy, regal, if you will. So like I mentioned in the intro, I haven't experienced anything like that. And I knew once I was introduced to this, I had to get this. This was actually supposed to be my second purchase from Mind Games when I went and purchased Lenora and Bloomingdale's back in the summertime. Well, I didn't purchase it from Bloomingdale's. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I wound up getting it on sale online, but I first smelled it in Bloomingdale's. And then the sales rep had me smell Queening, and I'm like, oh, this is good. And then another time I went into Bloomingdale's and I had the same reaction. So I knew this was going to be my second purchase from Mind Games. It wasn't, only because when I smelled it again, I thought, this is really good, but I'm like, is it gonna be good for this time of the year, the fall, winter? And I'm like, I don't plan on wearing it in the fall and winter, then I might as well wait for it to get it in the spring. But then I started to think about it. One website that I've mentioned that has me in a chokehold right now, I mentioned this in my fragrance haul video that I've been purchasing from, is Fragrance Nevaeh. Fragrance Nevaeh, check them out. They're always sold out extremely quickly, but they always have authentic fragrances for the cheap. When I tell you for the cheap, for the cheap. You know, how they get their fragrances, that's between them, but nonetheless, you get authentic fragrances and for really good prices. They sell out pretty quickly, and it takes a minute for them to ship, but nonetheless is always great customer service. So with that said, the fact that this website is always selling out really, really quickly, specifically Mind Game fragrances, the fact that Queening was just sitting there for $269, I'm like, it might be a thing. You know what, when it comes to this fragrance world that we're in, right? There might be that one fragrance that takes the community by storm and then people have to buy it. I didn't want it to be a thing where I let it sit there and I didn't capitalize on a really, really good price. So I said, you know what? Let me get it. And if it has to sit, it has to sit. But then I was also on Max Aroma's website and I was looking at their breakdown for Mind Games, and I saw that they classified this as something that you can wear during the spring and fall. So I thought, okay, I'm the type of person that likes to wear different fragrances for the season. So I'm like, all right, if I can bang with this in the fall, all the more reasons why I need to purchase it. So I purchased it, and I'm very glad that I did, because the experience that I've had with this, it's like no other. So if you're not familiar with Mind Game fragrances, they come in this white box. I don't know if you can see it. Let me do like the girlies do on their YouTube videos. And also Mind Game fragrances come in a black box. I don't know if with the coloring thing, maybe it's the chest pieces. I don't know. But speaking of chest, all the bottles come like a chest piece, which is really, really awesome. I think the presentation is stunning when it comes to Mind Games. The pricing is steep, $375. I get it, because it's the presentation and it's a well-blended house. Every fragrance that I smell so far, I have not have not been disappointed, but I can see how $375 is steep. I wasn't purchasing any fragrance for $375. That's why I didn't give my games a chance. But once I saw not only that I got to get my nose on it, but saw that a lot of now websites are you're able to apply discounts and sales and what have you, then I started to obviously come around to it. But I can see this is steep. But it's a well blended fragrance. When I smell this, it's uplifting. Like I mentioned, you feel regal. It just makes you want, fix your posture and sit up straight. That's what I get with Queening. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. So on the top, we have cotton flower, apple, cypress. And in the middle, we have orris root, rum, saffron. And in the base, we have obviously vanilla, coconut, and musk. It, again, like I said, I've never smelled a vanilla that was crisp. And I think the crispness is from the apple note. It's a smidge powdery. It's airy. I'm assuming because of the cotton flower in it. It's gorgeous. And the thing is, when I smell this, I don't instantly think, obviously when it comes to unisex fragrances and vanilla, I find that vanillas that have a spiciness and a warmness to it that men will gravitate to, but not necessarily the sweet gourmands, because that's probably more feminine leaning. But with this, when I smell this, I instantly am like, it was so crisp, but I'm like, oh, this is kind of masculine leaning until you actually spray it a couple of times and smell it. I think anyone could wear this. I think it's soft, but it's not feminine. It's feminine, but not overly sweet. It's just, I think it's a beautifully blended fragrance that just, it's perfectly unisex. Anyone will love this. Beautiful. It's gorgeous. You can't go wrong with Queening. So the only con that I will have when it comes to Queening is the performance. I find that maybe since this is crisp and it has that cotton flower note and it's airy, that's why the longevity and the projection isn't that amazing. I haven't really got the chance to test drive this just because I work in an office setting. So I like to be, I've learned to be mindful when it comes to fragrances because people are sensitive, especially in such a close proximity. But I find that this fragrance isn't that long lasting. I feel I get 4 or 5 hours. This is not the fragrance that you spray all over you and they're going to smell you before you walk in. It's one of those things. If you're close to me, you'll probably smell it, especially if there's enough sprays. So like I said, I probably get 4 or 5 hours when it comes to this, but nonetheless, I think it's still gorgeous. But if you're looking for a beast, this is not it. So I often get asked, what's my signature scent? And to be quite honest, I think I have an idea, but I truly don't know what my signature scent or even layering combo is. But the week that I wore Queening, it was my last week at a job where I'll be fully transparent. It was a hard 2 years that I had to endure at a job that I've never experienced before. My mental health, constant depression, and just really feeling undervalued. So in my last week when I wore this, I mentioned that the performance and what I get from this is such a uplifting fragrance. I wore this multiple times, and I don't think that was a coincidence. When you look at the description for Queening, the perfumer Christelle Laprade, I don't know if I pronounced your name right, my apologies, but she describes Queening as a celebration of achieving one's goals, symbolizing a journey through challenges and overcoming obstacles to emerge stronger and renewed, dedicated to the day's successes, major accomplishments, and the rewards they bring. And I'm like, that represents what I went through. I went through a challenging 2 years at my job, and just to overcome not feeling inferior, but being offered multiple positions and promotions. That's what that symbolizes for me. And so it wasn't a coincidence. I don't believe in the word coincidence that I wore this multiple times. So that's my fond memory when it comes to this, is that I overcame such obstacles in these past couple of years, and finally I came out on top. So I had to wear Queenie. Listen, Mind Games hired me, right? Because that was a great sales pitch. It's the truth. It was transparency. Honest. Hire me. I don't know how, in what capacity, but hire me. That was awesome. But yeah, in all honesty, this is the fond memory I get. I know people always have a fond memory when it comes to a fragrance. That's my fond memory. I overcame a lot, and the victor at the end of the day. So Queenie, that's what that represents for me. So I mentioned the fond memory that's associated with Queenie. So not only is now there a fond memory of this fragrance, but the layering combo, absolutely in love. So much that I had texted my friend, because ironically, we were talking about it the day before about gatekeeping certain scents and signature scents, and how I felt like I don't have that yet. Just to the following day, and like, yo, I think I found it. This one had me in a chokehold. So obviously we have Queenie from Mind Games. Obviously, I mentioned in my previous fragrance review video that I did layer this with Lattafa's Ungam and paired it with Bath & Body Works Warm Vanilla Sugar, and that was really good too. But sometimes you just need a little bit more oomph for such a great fragrance. So I don't have it here, but I've been using often from Bath & Body Works Vanilla Noir, just because the fragrance that I was layering this with was one of those spicy vanillas. So I started with that in the shower, and then I love this. I'm obsessed with this. I mentioned this in my Vanilla Diorama review video. Skinpotion's Aphrodisiac. I kind of want to get a backup bottle to this, but I know it'll sit there. And plus, I got quite a few product in here still. But this is so good. It's spicy, as I've mentioned time and time again. Beautiful for your spicy vanillas. Warm, spicy type of vanillas. Then, with the heavier fragrance, I layered that with Parfum de Marly's Altair. I'll do a review on this. Slept on this hard, but again, for another time, another video. But I used this, and then I sprayed on top Queening. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The way that this dried down, so sweet and gorgeous, slightly boozy, to this on top was just so soft and airy. It was the perfect combo, and it just made me feel so good. It made me feel like I'm that girl, you know what I mean? Again, like you walk out with your chest and just accomplish. That layering combo was everything, and I'll always associate it with this moment. So I think obviously I didn't gatekeep it, because I'm telling you guys, but I just had to tell you the feeling that it invoked wearing all of this. So would I recommend Mind Games Queening? Abso-freaking-lutely. 100%, 1,000%, 2,000%, yes. If you can find it on sale and on a discount, please do. I don't recommend buying anything for retail, but I can see the justification, because I love this. This is really good. So at your own risk, get it on a discount, or throw on a coupon on it if you can, but you'll be happy with this in your collection. So that's my review. That's my video. Thank you so much for watching it. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Let me know if you have Queening, or if you smelled it before, you have the same feelings that I have when it comes to Queening. Let me know. And always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.